Blast me to Electia! It's time for the Mad Merlins Warhammer 40,000 Imperium Journey, Issue 52, Part 2, Rules and Mission. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Mad Merlins Imperium Journey. So we're continuing with Issue 52, and before I begin I would like to ask if anyone watching this would like to comment either yes or no in the comment section down below, as whether they'd like to see me paint my my Triarch Stalker on camera. Let me know and I will attempt to do that. Otherwise I'll paint it and get on straight to 53's battle report. So just a little yes or no in the comment section down below would be greatly appreciated. But moving on, we have some new rules to cover and we have a brand new mission to play. So let's take a look inside the issue at our new gaming content. So the first piece of information is for our advanced rules section, page 4, and this focuses on stratagems. Command points can also be spent during a battle to use stratagems. Players can always use stratagems on the reverse of this page. Many more can be found in codexes and other publications. So, as we've learned previously about command points, when you create a battle-forged army, we gain command points. We can then use those command points to either put units in reserve, or to use stratagems to help give us bonuses throughout gameplay. Command points, or CP for short, is a sort of premium currency, you could say, that allows you to activate the bonuses. So this page just incorporates the 3 core stratagems, which are on the reverse. So we got the command reroll stratagem, costs 1 command point. So we use this stratagem after a hit, wound, damage, saving, or advance, charge, psychic test, or deny the witch test has been rolled. We can re-roll that test if we so choose. So if you don't want to re-roll the test, of course, you don't have to pay the command point, but if you do, you can use this. We have the fire overwatch stratagem for 1 command point. So this stratagem can be used after the enemy has declared a charge against 1 or more units. A unit that was chosen as a charge target can fire overwatch using the overwatch rules. So that'll be in the core, page 8. And finally, for 2 command points, we have counter offensive. So this stratagem allows you to automatically fight with 1 unit that would otherwise have to wait in turn. So after 1 enemy unit has fought in combat, you can select 1 of your own units and fight with it next. So if your opponent's charged with multiple units and you don't want to wait around for 1 of your units to get wiped out, you can drop 2 command points to activate counter-offensive and then have the unit that you don't want to die fight first. So next up, we got a tutorial about how to use command points. So at the back of this magazine, we actually have a section we can cut out some command points. So it tells you about how you keep track of your command points and what you use them for. So there's various things like I've already said. So we've got the stratagems on the other page. We've got putting things into reserve and so on. But keeping track, you can either use dice, keep a pile of tokens, which we will be doing for this magazine, or just write them down on a piece of paper. And then we got a couple of tutorials about how stratagems can be used to turn the tide of battle in your favour. So, stratagems are powerful abilities that can be used to turn the tide of battle. In order to activate stratagems, players must spend command points. The tutorial below explains 2 commonly used stratagems, command reroll and fire overwatch. Read through the tutorials before moving on. But I know pretty much how to use these, so we can skip straight ahead to the mission. So yeah, very handy tutorial. So basically a saving throw here for the captain, Fails on a 2, uses a command point reroll, passes on a 5. And for firing Overwatch, the Assault Intercessors have declared the charge at the Necron Warriors. The Necron player drops a command point to fire Overwatch, hitting on 6s, and then doing the usual wounding. In this case, he has killed a single Assault Intercessor, and the remaining models complete the charge. So, moving on to our mission, we have Destroyer Assault. So we got the Plasmancer leading a force of Necrons against the Cannoness. It's pretty much a similar force to what we had in the previous issue, but it's going to be a pretty good, pretty close quarters combat, I think. So let's have a look at the mission. So before we do, here is the command point tokens. So I've already got a spare copy of this issue, so I've already cut out these and got them ready for use. So this one is Stronghold Assault. Forces in play: Plasmancer, 2 Crypto Fools, 1 Reanimator, 10 Warriors, and 2 squads of 3 Scarabs. And on the Imperium, we've got the Cannoness, 7 Battle Sisters, 3 Seraphim, Repentia Superior, 3 Repentia, 2 Archoflagellants, the Penitent Engine, and we have an additional bonus of 3 Aggressors. For this mission, we are beginning with 3 command points each. And beginning from the second round onwards, we earn an extra point for each objective we control. There's 3 spread out across the battlefield. So this is all about trying to gain as much ground as possible and stopping the enemy from reaching us. So I'll set up the battlefield and I'll be right back. So we are all deployed and ready for our battle. So we've got our 3 objectives along the centre, and I thought it's fitting to have quite a lot of terrain around the centre protecting those objectives. It's going to be beneficial to both sides. There's plenty of terrain for units to hide behind and prepare for assaults and targets of opportunity or shooting, etc. And it's kind of a stronghold assault, as the title says, so there's the stronghold and there's the assault coming at it. But we have a little bit of dramatic reading before we begin. Destroyer Assault. Frustrated with the progress of the Necron invasion, the Overlord has released the Destroyer cults in full force. Under the watchful malevolent eyes of the Skorpekh Lord, the Destroyers and a detachment of Canoptic constructs have infiltrated the Imperium's positions and launched an assault on the Adeptus Sororitas stronghold. A crit deck Plasmancer oversees the conflict, lending his own destructive powers to the Necron assault. Necrons, Plasmancer, channeling destruction. The Plasmancer's ability to turn light and raw energy against his foes makes him a perfect ally for the Destroyer cults. With the Skorpekh Lord consumed by a lust for destruction, it will fall to the crypt deck to marshal his Canoptic followers and secure territory in the wake of the Destroyer's violent rampage. Imperium Cannoness, hold the line. The Necrons continue to launch wave after wave of infantry assaults on the Adeptus Sororitas positions. The Cannoness has travelled once more to the front lines in order to inspire her sisters to victory. Holding off the Skorpekh Destroyers, however, will be no simple task, and will require sacrifice on behalf of faith. So, as per usual, we have 5 turns in order to eliminate the opponent's victory. I believe for this one is victory points. So at the end of each player's turn, the player scores 1 victory point for each objective they control. They control more than the opponent, they can score an additional point. This can't be achieved in the first round, but player with the most victory points at the end is victorious. And we also get command points additional after the second turn. So we start with 3. I've spent 1 for the sisters to put the Seraphim into Deep Strike. And forces are deployed. So we got the Scarabs and the Plasmancer with his Crypto Fools on one side over here. Then the Warriors with the Reanimator backing up there. The Archoflagellants and Penitent Engine are poised ready to charge, as are the Repentia on this flank. Battle Sisters and the Aggressors form a strong centre. So, my Sacred Right is Divine Guidance, so plenty of excluding 6s for my sisters. So let's see who gets the first turn. And that is a free for the Necrons. So here we go with turn 1. So end of turn 1, and it's been a pretty eventful turn, even for the early stages of the game. The Necrons moved up, claiming 2 objectives. The Scarab bases were there, they aren't anymore, thanks to Flamestorm Gauntlets. So they put themselves on 2 points. In the Sisters' turn, the Archoflagellants, Repentia moved up, as did the Aggressors and Battle Sisters. The Repentia took down the 4 warriors that were in the ruins with their massive chainswords, easily ripping through their armour. 3 of them got back up, and I've deployed them all back there so I can get a sneaky round of shooting next turn. The 4-up reanimation, thanks to the reanimator, has been really useful. The Pentian engine there flamed 1 lot of Scarabs, and of course he can't see the other 2 bases, so he couldn't really charge. The Archoflagellants are just sitting there pretty berserk on objective 3, holding it. So 2 points aside, and it's still all to play for. The Necrons did spend 1 command point to use the Overwatch stratagem, which is pretty cool. And they managed to kill 1 sister because of it, which is pretty useful. So only 2 Repentia made it into the combat. But there's still quite a lot to play for, and this turn onwards we now start gaining command points, so we can use those stratagems a little more. So let's roll over to turn 2. So it's the bottom of turn 2, and I hate to admit it, but it's going to be an Imperial victory. The Necrons only managed to score 1 victory point in the previous turn. They have been doing pretty well though. Living Lightning and Harbinger of Destruction did some nice mortal wounds, killing off an aggressor. But really, I think the force might have been... There must be a typo in the force chart for the Necrons. I think it should be 3 Skorpekh Destroyers and 3 Scarabs. Because really the Necrons, they've got a really big disadvantage, especially when it comes to hitting in combat. The Pentian engine would have got up to the Plasmancer, but he managed to burn 3 wounds off the Crypto Thralls with his heavy flamers. The aggressors burnt the remaining wound off with their Flamestorm Gauntlets, and then they charged the Plasmancer and punched him to death. So the Imperium at the end of turn 2 scored 3 victory points, 2 for having objectives, and 1 for having more than the opponent. The warriors are bogged down in combat with the Battle Sisters and the Repentia Mistress, and I don't think they're going to be going anywhere anytime soon, because we have the nice buff from the Reanimator. And I've purposely made it so that he is just within 6 and won't get, hopefully, pulled into the combat too much. But like I said, I think it is going to have to be called as an Imperium victory turn 2. It's a bit of a one-sided fight. But really, after the last mission, I think the Imperium do need a one-sided fight. They got butchered by those Skorpekh Destroyers and the Skorpekh Lord. So I'm going to call it there, and I'm going to show you what's in the next Imperium. So, issue 53 then. We have our final part of the Triarch Stalker. Don't forget to comment below if you want to see me paint this guy in the Saltec Dynasty colours for my own collection. Then in issue 54 we get the final set of our Adeptus Sororitas models with a nice squadron. 3 Battle Sisters to finish off the Battle Sister squad, 2 Seraphim to finish off the Seraphim, 1 Repentia and 1 Archoflagellant to finish off them. And that is everything we have for our sisters. So we've got Necron Stratagems in the issue 53, so that's pretty cool. And we get Destroyer Stratagems in issue 54, a new mission and a much updated paint guide. I will be doing a little paint tutorial because I think I've got a better method at highlighting the flesh using the colour scheme that they are suggesting. So stay tuned for that one. But that's it for issue 52 of Imperium. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe for more mad content. And I will see you on the next Imperium. Goodbye.